Hello Internet, welcome back to Thrums to Twilight, the channel where I, Vincent, talk to you about books, movies, music that I enjoy or find interesting. But today I'm going to just try something different because I need to go on a rant and I need to feel like somebody heard my rant, even if everybody switches this off after about 5 seconds. I want to talk about generative AI creating written material and how you should not be using it in the first place. And if you are using it, you should certainly not be asking your friends who can write to proofread, correct, or collaborate with this material. Briefly, if you're using AI, you should be aware of the environmental impacts that generative AI actually has on the environment. This technology is used now all over academia. They're talking about using it in my field, in psychotherapy. They use it in advertising, they use it in journalism, they use it all over the place. And it's flooded all of these commercial and professional fields without anybody having a discussion of the fact that by doing so, all these fields are increasing their carbon footprint basically overnight. Generative AI requires data centers which do not exist in the internet or in the cloud. They exist physically on the planet, where huge computers use enormous amounts of electricity and create electronic waste, including mercury and lead. They create carbon emissions through the use of fossil fuels to produce electricity. It's estimated that AI-related infrastructure is soon going to consume more water than Denmark or Belgium within the course of about a year. This is while a quarter of humanity don't have access to fresh water. ChatGPT searches are estimated to use between 10 and 5% more electricity than a normal internet search via Google. The data centers are known to be damaging for biodiversity in the places that they are built. And the use of water to cool the infrastructures also worsens droughts in places like Arizona and Chile, the places where these data centers are built, out in places where the land is cheap and the environment is sensitive. But if you're aware of all of this and you choose to use this technology regardless, and just to be clear, this means that in the name of convenience, you are using a technology that is actively damaging to the environment in a period of time where we're rapidly entering an environmental crisis. But let's just say that you choose to do that anyway because you don't want to translate your article from one language into another, or you don't feel like sitting down to write the blurb for your latest album. Let's just say that you use AI, you use ChatGPT or OpenAI to create written material for your website. Do not come to your friend who is a translator or who writes or who was professionally engaged in writing advertising copy or who is a freelance journalist and ask them to check the material, ask them to check the translation, or ask them to help you edit the material. People who write, who've invested their life in learning how to use and manipulate language, do not see it in terms of here is some information. Language is a neutral medium which translates information from one place to another place, which is how AI sees it. They see language as a constructive and complex phenomenon that they've immersed themselves in, where every word is a conscious choice. If you translate from one language to another language, you have to choose the word which has the correct nuance for the tone of the writing. For example, a poem in one language is never the same as that poem translated, for example. Every writer, every piece of material subtly has its own voice. What you see in the writing produced by generative AI is a complete flattening of language and register towards a situation where everything sounds like boilerplate. That's why you can notice when the caption on Instagram was written by AI and not by an individual person. It has this weird plastic, flattened tone to it. So that's one thing. It's contributing to like a fast food situation for language, and asking somebody to look at your AI generated text and fix it is like bringing a frozen meal to a chef and asking them to put herbs on it. But it's worse than that, because people who write have been subtly devalued for the past 20-25 years since the internet made publishing easy. Most people write for free anyway, and the rare occasions when we manage to make money from our writing come along a few times in a year. Often, these are situations where we don't write something that we really want to write, but we get employed by somebody who can't write to help them. Generative AI has basically removed any market value that this skill had. So it is deeply insulting to come to a writer and ask them to collaborate with the technology that was designed to make them obsolete. All right, that's my rant about AI. It's a bit of a downer. This channel was basically designed for me to talk about things that make me happy, but I just wanted to put it out into the world. Do not ask writers to collaborate with generative AI. Thank you. Peace.